Good morning, guys. Yeah, after the engine failure and an emergency landing at Denver International Airport, the investigation begins as to why the Pratt & Whitney engine failed. Take a look at this video. A terrifying view outside the window. Passengers say they were stunned and couldn't believe it was happening.
All of a sudden there was a loud sound and then it got really, really bad. I thought lightning struck the plane at first.
According to the NTSB, the initial examination of the Pratt & Whitney PW4077 engine revealed several issues, including 2 fractured fan blades, damaged edges and tips on remaining blades, and the inlet and cowling were actually separated from the engine itself. Now, Pratt & Whitney issued a statement in regards to the February 20th incident saying, quote, "Pratt & Whitney has dispatched a team to work with investigators. Pratt & Whitney is actively coordinating with operators and regulators to support the revised inspection interval of the Pratt & Whitney PW4000 engines that power Boeing 777 aircrafts. Any further investigative updates regarding the event will be at the discretion of the NTSB. Pratt & Whitney will continue to work to ensure the safe operation of the fleet." Back in 2018, almost an identical incident to this happened with a United Airlines Boeing 777 en route to Honolulu, Hawaii. Now, in that instance, the cowling surrounding the right engine fell off over the ocean. They were about 45 minutes away from their destination. Now, last year, the NTSB determined insufficient inspection training. The FAA regulators ordering stepped-up inspections of Boeing planes and Pratt & Whitney jet engines after Saturday's terrifying event. We're going to be keeping you updated with any new information as it becomes available both on air and online. But for now, reporting in East Hartford, Lauren Zenzi, Fox 61 News.